mutual fund which comes with lots of advantage. Why is that? Why investor, and how mutual fund can play a great role in terms of the asset allocation of the investor?
Once investors start to understand the merits of investing for creating wealth rather than creating income, as Tulsianji said, I think that is when big amount of money will come into the equity markets. We will have more disposable income. We will also realize the importance of equity, and without being discouraged with it, I think we should look at it from a lot of optimism. Someone was asking me what will happen with the US being downgraded. I had one simple thing, if you spend more than what you are earning, someday you are going to be in problem. And the good thing about Indians is that if you have 100 rupees, you will spend only 20 rupees or you will spend only 50 rupees. So from the lowest level to the highest level, we are all savers. We can call ourselves conjuice or whatever, but we are savers. And I think this saving is going to be channelized through equity, and that is going to lead our economy into higher heights. So I think be optimistic and please start investing so that Ashish also doesn't have the question next time when we meet.
So that's a great insight. Thanks, Sunil, for that. Coming to Mr. Kumar, when it comes to paying tax, there is still some kind of unwillingness, there is still some kind of unhappiness whenever it comes to the, paying tax. Most of the people do it unwillingly or unhappily. Why is that? Is it because the person who is paying the tax doesn't know what happens thereafter? For example, whatever little salary I get, 33% of that gets deducted, and I don't know what is happening after that. So, do you think it will going to help if there is some clarity on that part? Is government is looking at some kind of a progressive steps where it is known? I mean, sitting in this audience, there are many people who do a lot of charity work and they don't mind, but when it comes to the tax, probably there is some kind of a shyness still. If it is known to the people generally that this is how their money which is getting taxed is used in a proper way, do you think there could be an improvement in the system?
It was on 24th July 1861 that Sir William James introduced income tax as a short-term measure, because the finances of the then British government, because of the first war of independence, became very bad. And in the first year, the government collected a princely sum of 13 lakhs rupees. That act continued for some 3 years, and I think in 1865, this was discontinued, and it was reintroduced somewhere in 1885 when First World War broke out, and the finances of the British government became very bad. And though it was introduced as a very short-term measure, but it continued till today for the good fortune of us and Mr. Bankas and bad fortune of you people. See, this is not correct to say that people don't pay tax. If you see, indirect taxes has been increasing. Earlier there used to be only central excise and customs. They have added service tax also. Direct taxes have reduced the taxes. Now more or less wealth tax is gone, gift tax is no longer there, and you have a choice of dying peacefully, no estate duty. And we have reduced our rates. In spite of that, we have overtaken central excise and customs. Till 2000, I believe 7 and 8, the total contribution of central excise and custom was more than the direct tax collection. And now we are far ahead of the indirect tax collections. Therefore, it is not correct to say that people don't pay taxes. Definitely, if there is a transparency in the government, if the government of the day is more responsive to the aspirations of the public, definitely tax collections will go further. That the money they are giving by way of taxes is properly utilized, is utilized for their own benefit. Definitely, public tend to pay more taxes. But if you have a leadership like you have nowadays, every day we are hearing, definitely there will be something in their mind, why should I pay taxes? This is bound to be there. See, another thing we should not forget, that our country was slave for almost 1000 years. But when we were probationers, once I asked one of the very senior IAS officers, Okay, sir, when we go to public, why public should stand up? In the public, when a collector goes, or an SP goes, or DGP goes, or chief commissioner goes, public stands up. In fact, we are the public servants.
Very good.
When the public comes to us, we should stand up, not the public.
Very good point.
Unless this mindset comes to the bureaucracy that we are here to serve, this mistrust between the government and the public will continue. And as the transparency comes, as the technology advances, more and more transparency will come. Who do you think the kind of persons who are in Tihar jail nowadays would have been there, say, 5 years back? System is striking back, and system will definitely strike back. So I am far more optimist than some of my colleagues on the panel about the future.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Mr. Veerbhadrappa, typically businessman, big or small, gets associated with some kind of a manipulation. People think that they are taking shortcuts and all that. Do you think that's the only way to success? And, how one can use the better tax compliant, for the benefit of the business?
As he rightly pointed out, over the years, the tax rates have become very reasonable, and that is a sufficient incentive to pay the taxes. Nowadays, no chartered accountant, I am also a chartered accountant, I was in the profession, no chartered accountant nowadays advise people to evade the taxes. Now, the voluntary compliance, as already been stated very rightly, has on the increase. So there is no way that the people want to avoid payment of taxes. They have also understood. Sometimes they get disgusted by seeing the scams and other things that are going on after collecting the taxes. Except that I think common man is by and large now reconciled to the fact that the tax is the price that we have to pay for the civilization. Gita is a summary of the whole Upanishad texts which were written in a different level of consciousness by our ancestors, who had a purest life possible, who had no ostentatious life, whose concern was only the development of the human life. That was only their concern. Out of that, in fact, it is said, the divine spoke through them, and they are recorded in Upanishads. All these Upanishads, in essence, have been taken by Bhagavan Krishna in his Bhagavad Gita. It tells you everything. Mat karma krut. You do your duty. Mat paramo. Keep me as a goal. Mat paramo. Mat bhakta. You must be my devotee. That means what? You must kill and extinguish your vanity. You have fattened your vanity. You fattened your ego. Please remove that ego. If you want to progress in life, there has to be discipline. No shortcuts. They don't accept any shortcut in life. Your present life should be on those guidelines. Then your future will be definitely bright and better.
Thank you, Mr. Veerbhadrappa. He's summed up the entire essence of life's value in one or two slokas and really took us in a different plane. What I wanted to say is, when we are talking about striving for a better tomorrow, it is not necessarily making money, becoming trillion-dollar economy, or paying 5 lakh crores of income tax and all that kind of a thing. I want to say that tomorrow means our children, our progeny. So what is better for them? We have to think about that. When we are becoming a trillion-dollar economy, and when the billionaires and millionaires list is increasing by hundreds and thousands in India, we are forgetting the basic values of the family. The joint family system has broken down, nuclear families have come. The biggest problems as Joint Commissioner of Police Crime I have faced is the family disputes. So I would like to say that if you are going to strive for a better tomorrow, the better tomorrow is our children. And we have to engage with them. And we have to be in continuous touch with them, in communication with them. I, as a policeman who have seen families falling apart, would like to advise everybody, let us have better communication and better understanding in the families. So there are so many things which are coming to distract the children from taking them away from the better tomorrow. Let us be aware about it. All the money would come, all BMWs, all bungalows would be there, provided there is someone there behind to clap and appreciate that you have succeeded, you have arrived. Thank you so much.
That's a very good answer. We'll open the floor for question, please.
I have a question for Mr. Naresh Kumar. The total tax is increasing, out of which corporate tax is a major chunk. And from the personal tax, if you remove the salary tax out, the TDS tax out, what are the 3 steps which income tax department, forget the government for the time being, I would just like to concentrate on the income tax department, it is taking, which can motivate the SME and the MSE or the individuals to pay tax?
So TDS can be personal as well as corporate. Now, second thing is you said that corporate is a major chunk, which is not correct. Corporate constitutes something around 55% and personal taxation contributes something around 45%. See, so far as central government is concerned, I mean just by the way, for central government is concerned, the central government takes the whole of the corporate and the personal tax is distributed among the states. Now what we are doing to increase the tax base and the tax collection, the 3 basically. First is the automation. You see, we are using a lot of technology now. I don't mind sharing this thing with you, that a stage is coming that any financial transaction you make will be reflected in your some personal ledger which will be maintaining. What we call as 360-degree profile. Second we are making is the life easier for you. Again with the aid of the technology. See, this year we had a discussion in the board that cost of digital signature should be reduced. And I am sure by the end of this year will be reduced to 50 rupees or maybe 0. We are also developing 3-4 more centers of CPC, what we call as the computer processing centers. At the moment we have only 1, that is at Bangalore. 3 more centers are coming. So with the result, I am sure in next 2 years, within 3 months to 4 months of your filing of your return, your refund will be credited to your account directly and any demand which arises on account of the return filing will be taken away from your bank account automatically. Now we are picking up hardly 1% returns for scrutiny. And this is also going to reduce because scrutiny will now be only information based. Whatever information you give in the return, if it matches with your 360-degree profile which we will have, then your return will not be picked up with scrutiny. So it will have more, people will have more confidence in the department and I am sure compliance will increase.
Thank you very much. And this panel discussion has given a deep insight for the better tomorrow, for the future. We will be going to Dr. N.H. Banka, Fellow of American College of Gastroenterology and Edinburgh School of Medicine, Western General Hospital, and he's a very famous gastroenterologist of Mumbai. And he is the Chief Gastroenterology and Hepatology at Bombay Hospital, Institute of Medical Sciences. He has been Associate Professor of Medicine and Gastroenterology of Grant Medical College and JG Group of Hospitals. Give him a very big hand.
You know, I must congratulate Pradeep ji for Banka and Banka getting into the 25th year. And since I'm also a Banka, you know, it's so more gratifying for me. And I really feel truly honored to be on this dais among the prominent dignitaries and the very famous people from the Indian scenario. You know, before entering into the auditorium, I just felt the pulse of the people, and the opinion which I got about Pradeep ji is, he's the one who holds your hands in difficult times and the one who does not leave you alone in difficult times. I think that's Pradeep ji. Now, we guys are the medical people. We always practice evidence-based medicine, you know. There should be some evidence to really practice medicine. And I think this is what a graph is going to show. This is an audience poll, which silently I took it around. And look, 100% of the audience says what I said is yes for you. That's very important, yeah. You know, I always believed that we doctors are most privileged on this earth to practice translating science into the art. See this beautiful body painting? It's the science, and the artist has put in the art. So I think our job in the society is a great job to translate what we have information along the, whatever the technicalities are, to translate into the art and make the better living. We acquired one machine known as fibroscan of the liver 1.5 years ago. There were only 33 machines in the world, and I was the first one in India to import this machine, and this is a technological marvel. Just to give you a little brief idea about what's happening in the world, with this machine from outside, we can know what is the extent of the liver disease, what is the extent of liver injury. Why do we get in India so much of diseases? One, poor hygiene. Number two, most important, which you mentioned, governance, poor governance. We still are living with the old myths. People drink their own urine, people drink elephant's urine to cure so many illnesses. Can you believe that's happening today? Old myths. Alternative medicines. In India is the only country where we have Ayurvedic, we have Unani, we have naturopathy, we have so many disciplines of medicine that we have so much patients suffering from alternative medicines. Ignorance of the people. Why I showed you that machine, I'm sure once you go back from the lecture, you will think Dr. Banka said some machine, if I have liver disease, let me really get checked up. So this is awareness coming in now from the ignorance. And lastly, of course, alcohol causes the major liver disease. I hunted out, I'm the guy who really like to, deviate from my, my serious job of medical practice. And I came across a beautiful definition. I think most of the corporate houses are going to enjoy this. How does the corporate world works? I think I'm going to project the definitions here. What is a project manager? A person who thinks 9 women can deliver a baby in 1 month. What is a developer? A person who thinks it will take 18 months to deliver a baby. What is an on-site coordinator? One who thinks single woman can deliver 9 babies in 1 month. What is the client? The one who doesn't know why he wants a baby. I think it's amazing. Marketing manager, a person who thinks he can deliver a baby even if no man or woman are available. He will always market himself. It's very